All right. So I know a lot of people have already seen my collection. I've posted the Imager links numerous times, but a somewhat newer member of the Discord requested to see my collection. Unfortunately, I don't think that my entire collection is in a state that's worth showing off, but my childhood collection is. So I figured I'd showcase that real quick. I've got a lot more cards than just this. It's just my organization skills are lacking when it comes to those. So this is my childhood set. Basically, everything was originally inside of this binder. This is from the 90s. I still have it. It's in fairly decent condition. I mean, it's a little beat up on the front, but it's older than some of the people in this Discord probably. So let's go ahead and open her up. Let's make sure it got y'all centered so y'all can see everything. All right, starting off with base set. These cards are all in English. I feel like that's good enough. Not everything is first edition. I do have some shadowless, like my Hitmonchan is shadowless. My Charizard is not shadowless. Shadowed. Looks like just the Hitmonchan is shadowless. In case y'all didn't know, all first edition cards are also shadowless. But there's my first edition Machamp. Not an amazing card considering it's the most printed card, but it's or maybe not the most printed card, but like the most printed first edition from this era. But this was from a starter deck back in the 90s. I believe that is when I got into Pokemon. All right, next page. Got shadowed, more shadowed. Yep. Then we get to the non-holos. I've got a few first editions here. We got the Electrode and the Electabuzz. Looks like Arcanine is shadowless. Dugong is first edition. Venusaur, it's my boy. Although this picture does not do him the greatest of justice. But still love him no matter what. Let's see, Growlithe is shadowless. First edition Kakuna. I hope y'all can see all this properly and I'm not just covering everything. Got first edition Machoke. First edition Magmar. First edition Poliwhirl. Porygon. Eradicate. Seal. Wartortle. First edition Bulbasaur, which I knew of this error, but I did not realize that every first edition Bulbasaur had the error. So that's neat to know. First edition Abra, Bulby Boys, one of my favorites. Venusaur is my favorite, so obviously I like Bulbasaur and Ivysaur. Although Ivysaur, admittedly, is a middle child. Alright, we got Diglett, Doduo, Drowsy, Ghastly, all first edition. So is Machop and Metapod. I don't remember being around the scene early enough to catch first edition of base set. So these first editions were probably traded for after the fact. I definitely remember doing a lot of trading when I was a kid. Unfortunately, I'm from New Orleans, so I also remember a lot of my cards being stolen. I had a lot of Charizards stolen from me, including if you want to consider my aunt forcing me to give my younger cousin a Charizard because I had two of them at the time. We got a Shadowless Rattata. Some more first editions. We got Poliwag and Pikachu. Got a first edition Onix. First edition Pidgey. Nidoran is shadowless. Oops. I'm probably going to end up doing that a lot because of how close the arm sticks out to the binder. This is the best way I can showcase both sides of the binder without having to move the binder too much. Vulpix is first edition, so is Voltorb, so is Staryu, and I honestly just say Tangela. Tangela? I don't know. I feel like I could say either or depending on the day. We got Shadowless Weedle. No first edition trainer cards, which does not surprise me because like I said, if I was trading for trainer cards or for first editions, I don't think a childhood me would trade for trainer cards. At least not that I could imagine doing. Oh, I lied. I have a first edition Pokedex. I also have a first edition Fighting Energy, apparently. You know what? I do remember the first edition Fighting Energy. I thought I had another first edition Energy, but I don't. Maybe it's the Pokedex I was thinking of. That's the end of base set. In the jungle set, now, jungle set released when I was balls deep into Pokemon collecting as a child. So I have a complete first edition master set of jungle. So I'm not going to be pointing out anything particular about these. I know I didn't say this earlier, but my English cards, they're definitely played. Childhood me could read the cards, so I used the cards to play with very frequently. I got the Error Electrode first edition. If y'all aren't aware, that art was from the base set, and the first edition or the jungle set was supposed to look like this. That's all I know about that. I found that out once I got back into collecting. So I don't know all the details on it. I don't know if they have a fixed version of this. But if they do, I probably should get one. All this is first edition. It's just straight up a first edition Jungle Master set. So it really isn't too much to talk about. I don't remember. I think somebody said that there was an error version of Butterfree, but I don't remember the details on that, so I have no idea if I have it or not. The artwork was a lot simpler back then. Like things like the Vileplume are kind of mediocre in my opinion. I don't know. Other ones like the Lickitung, like I like that art. The Butterfree's got some good art. I've always liked Primeape, so Primeape stands out to me, even though it's very boring. Moving on, we got the cutesy Eevee, which if I remember correctly, the Eevee and this Jigglypuff got like modern updates of these cards, right? Like modern artwork. It's a good Cubone. Poor Oddish. Looks like ass. I think this is the Pikachu I think of when I think of Pikachu, like back in the day. Not the fat Pikachu that's in the beginning. And that's mostly because fat Pikachu, I feel like it was such a short-lived first edition Pokeball. Such a short-lived thing. Alright. This is the fossil set. Unfortunately, I am missing 3 holographic first edition cards. I am missing the Aerodactyl first edition, the Gengar first edition, and the Haunter first edition. And those cards are expensive, so I doubt that I will get those. And if I were to stumble upon them, they'd probably be in god-awful condition, because I feel like people nowadays would just grade everything I've got one graded card in my collection, and the only reason why I've got it is because it was a gift. So I I don't have any of these cards graded. I will never get them graded. They will stay with me until either I die or I decide one day I'm going to pass them on to another collector. And by pass them on, I mean sell them. Because hell, who knows? Maybe old David will need the money. But yeah, other than that, everything should be first edition. Remember that being a cool art when I was a kid. I remember I like this art doesn't bother me now, the Magmar, but I remember as a kid I hated that art. Cool looking Geodude. This was the first artwork that made it so I understood what the fuck Geodude was supposed to be, because in the game, the old pixels, I had no idea what I was looking at. Alright. Now, I stopped collecting after Fossil, so I don't have any of, like, the other sets. But what I do have is my childhood Pokedex binder. Now, this Pokedex binder is basically my favorite art of all the cards that I had. So, like, basically my Bulbasaur, which I believe this is from a starter deck, a Japanese starter deck. I had all my Bulbasaurs together, and I chose the Bulbasaur artwork that I liked the most, and it made it in here. My Ivysaur, it's one of my favorite artworks from back then. Venusaur, now this is my favorite Venusaur. This is what I like. I've got the CD, and then in the other binder, I believe, I have the other two versions, the EB games or not EB games, the Game Boy Advance version, as well as, I think it's a starter deck version? I don't remember. Drawing a little bit of a blank. But yeah, I've got all three of the CD promos up in here. They're all from my childhood collection. If I could show you better, I would. But there's a swirl here, and I believe the Charizard has a swirl somewhere. I can't see it from my angle. Let me see. Oh, it's the swirl's back here, actually. Yeah, unfortunately, I did not record anything. Oh, wait, yes, I did. I did record some of them. I might have videos on my phone somewhere. Got my Beedrill, my Pidgeot. This is one of the sickest Fearow cards I've ever seen. It's a pretty cool Raichu. There we go. You know, I don't think I finished what I was saying earlier, but originally my entire collection was in this binder, but it was in the old clear sleeve pages, and I upgraded to these side loading with the like black felt, or I don't really know what material this is, but the black piece in between. Really sick Nidoking. Got a swirl on Michael Fable. Beautiful little Vulpix. What is this? Dark Vileplume, which is a classic. Golbat, which I've seen way too many people open this, paying like hundreds of dollars for a pack and then ripping it. I got some of the vending collection scattered throughout here. This is a very sick Persian art. The holographic is amazing. My Japanese cards are in very good condition. Like, I think if I opened up a pack today and pulled these cards out, I think I would not be able to tell that these cards came from the 90s slash early thousands, early 2000s. But yeah, very sick primate art. Sick to me. Like I said, I'm biased. Matter of fact, all these cards are my favorite artworks from back then. Oh yeah, the Dark Doug Trio. I really like this Arcanine art. We've got Alakazam and Machamp Hollows. Victory Bell. Tentacruel, which is a Pokemon that I have always liked but have never used in anything. I might have used it as a kid. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I used it as a kid in like red version of the Pokemon games, but I can't think of a time I would want to use it anywhere else, and especially not in modern games. I don't know. I wish it was stronger. For a while, I was saying that I prefer this jellyfish over Jellicent, but Jellicent's grown on me since then, so I don't know. I wish he was more viable. It's a sick Magneton. I was about to say Magnemite. I've got these cards. I forget if they're special or not when I've got them. I forget the artist's name. I can't read that. I can't read that. Not without shoving my big old head in the camera. I got the banned Gengar because of the crucifixes, the gravestones in the shape of a cross. Dark Machop. Did I say Machop? Dark Hitmonchan. Hitmonlee. I got the little white diamond Chansey. I remember I used to think that this card was super rare just because it had a white rarity symbol. But I remember having a few of them, and I think I only have one other one left nowadays. I don't know what happened to a lot of the excess that I had, but like I had the special delivery Dragonite, and I had some promos from English back in the day, and I have no idea where any of those went. I'm pretty sure they're gone. I do believe my mother still has some binders of mine over at her house, but I don't think they have anything in it other than my old X-Men trading cards and some like old football cards of the at least of the San Francisco 49ers, because that was my favorite team back then. Some more sick artworks. Obviously, like I said, this was my favorite artwork from each of the sets that I had. I saw some an Articuno and a Moltres from a set that I didn't know existed, that I really wanted, and then I looked them up, and they are like $400 each. Yeesh. I want the Game Boy promo Dragonite. Fortunately, that price went up because they were only like $100 last I saw. And then all of a sudden, I saw them again. And somebody was like, "Yeah, they're $300 now." It's just like, do I want to pay $300? Fortunately, Mewtwo has such an odd design that I don't think I'll ever like Mewtwo aesthetically. All right, so I had all the way up to Feraligatr as a kid. Admittedly, these cards are from. Oh, they're here. But admittedly, these cards are from recent purchases. I bought singles at like a Manga Soko, and they have swirls on them. I really like swirls, so I bought them. If anybody is not familiar, swirls do not raise the price value of a card. They are only a little plus. So if anybody tries to charge you more for a swirl, just go ahead and tell them to go F themselves. This is from my childhood. This is from my childhood. And then I want to say this is from my childhood. These I purchased. If I remember correctly, this is in like very good condition. Matches my cards. This one's a little beat up, I think. If I take this one out, I think you can kind of see the damage. Yeah, I don't know how well it shows in the camera. Kind of looks like it was on concrete at one point. Maybe sleeved, but still on concrete. You can kind of see it up in this area. I don't know. I might buy another one if I can find a very good Game Boy promo Venusaur. This is my favorite one because of how he's smaller and off to the side of the card instead of dead center. But Ken Sugimori has my favorite Venusaur art. Probably also has my least favorite Venusaur art with that base set Venusaur. Here we got the Southern Island set. Childhood me pulled them out of the packages instantly. I did not keep them sealed. Which, thank God, because I am not a sealed collector. Got my boy Ivysaur in the Southern Islands. Funny thing is, I did not realize that all of these cards had holographic and non-holographic versions. I always believed that these two are hollow and these four are hollow and these four were not. And that's just because that's how I had it. I was like, oh, they picked these four to get hollows. No, these also have hollows and these also have non-hollows. But I am going to have to try to find those somewhere. Maybe Manga Soko or something. There's a blank spot here. I'm pretty sure that's the card with Jesse James and Meowth on it. I could have swore I had this card. I don't know where it is. I don't know if it was stolen. I don't know if I took it out and gave it to somebody or traded it away or anything. But unfortunately, I no longer have that card and have not been able to find the single in order to replace it. I'm pretty sure this is a banned Misty trainer card because she's nude. Presumed nude, at least. Pretty sure this is a banned card because of the middle finger, where it looks like she's flipping us off. Sorry, hit y'all. Some early Erica cards. They ain't got nothing on modern Erica cards. I don't think there's really anything special with these. I think there's something up with this card. Was it banned? I don't know why it would be banned. This one's banned because of the Buddhist symbol. Westerners thought that it was a swastika. I, 'Cause, 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 'C I don't even know what's too special about these. Why did I collect them as a child? Like, these have weird numbers at the bottom. These are probably from the starter deck. Is this the one? No, I don't see anything. Oh, yeah. I think there's a double swirl right here. It's hard to see. Definitely hard to showcase. I've got these cards. I believe these came from the peelable sheets, but I don't remember. I don't know. They might have. I think they were meant to just be like extra rules to make the game fun for playing. And then these are like, I guess, decks that they were recommending you build. And that's the end of the first binder. Like I said, everything used to just be inside of this binder. But unfortunately, once I upgraded the sleeves, they no longer fit inside of just this binder. So I had to split them up. But at least my entire English collection and my Japanese Pokedex is all intact and fits inside that one binder. Now this binder are the other cards that I collected. They're just extra Japanese cards pretty much that I did not want to get rid of because I liked their artwork. And decided to keep them. Alright, I think that's centered pretty well. Alright. I've got a first edition French Charizard. Pretty good condition, I would say. I've got another Charizard for English. I've got Blaine's Charizard. I could have swore I had a Dark Charizard. I know for a fact I had one, but it's not in here. So unfortunately, it's lost to time. If I remember correctly, that was the one with Nail Flick. I don't know why I kept 2 Ninetales of the same art, but I did. Another vending series. Bunch of cute Growly boys and an Arcanine. No, 2 Arcanines. Some Bonitas. That Magmar that I didn't like. I don't know why I kept it. I've got a first edition Flareon. If I remember correctly, I bought a Japanese Flareon with a swirl. That was in pretty good condition. All the Squirtles and War Turtles from the Squirtle deck. We've got one more base set Blastoise, Shadowless. Some Psyduck art, Golduck. Psyduck's so cool, but Golduck's so meh. This one I bought after coming to Okinawa. I didn't know this card existed. I saw it and I had to buy it. I got 2 Poliwrath, 1 Shadowless, 1 Shadowed. I don't even know what that symbol is. Gyarados and some Magikarps. Another Gyarados. Got 2 English Gyaradoses. I've got a first edition Vaporeon. Got another of the Feraligators. I think this one has a swirl. No, I don't see a swirl. I had 2 of these. I don't remember where I got the second one from. Also another sick artwork from back in the day. These Venusaurs. Got 2 of them. Got 2 more English Venusaurs. And then I've got what is this? Base set 2 Venusaur? Don't know why I kept a Kakuna. Don't know why I kept that Kakuna. 3 Nidokings. English. Much better oddish artworks than the other one. Got a first edition Venomoth. Got a blushing Weepinbell. Got a first edition Victreebel. We got the banned Grimer. The one where he's looking up that little girl's skirt, which is why it was banned. Got an English Mutt. Got another one of these. Don't remember where I got it from. First edition Pinsir. Another Meganium. I don't know why I have a extra Southern Islands Ladybob, but I do. First edition Scyther. I got the funny Pikachu. I got the cool Pikachu. I got fat Pikachu with the yellow cheeks. Got the cutie Raichu. I got a first edition Raichu. Non-first edition Raichu. I got a bunch of Magnetons. 5. The Japanese one is so much cooler. But I've got 3 of these as well. And then 1 of base set 2. First edition Electrode. I've got a sick Japanese Electrode. Got a non-first edition Electrode. First edition Electroball. I guess that's German. Electabuzz Electek first edition. Donnershock. I'm assuming that's German. First edition Jolteon. 2 different Zapdos. Another Dark Doug Trio. If I remember correctly, this one got binder damage. Yes, I do know that binders, ring binders, aren't the best for keeping cards. But considering this is the only card that I can tell was damaged from being in a binder, I feel like that's fine. If it could last 25 years in a binder, and only 1 card get damaged, I feel like I'm okay with those odds. That's a sick Mankey art. If I remember correctly, I bought this because it has a swirl. Yep, right there, there's a swirl. A whole bunch of Hitmonchan. This actually bothers me. Why do I have you up here and not down here? I can keep the 3 base set Hitmonchan on 1 row, and then the base set 2 can come down here on its own. There, that makes me feel better. Got a first edition pre-release Aerodactyl. It is very heavy played, if I remember correctly. And so is this first edition pre-release Aerodactyl. Got a base set 2 Alakazam. Some vending series. Still centered? Not really, but it's not horrible. Some more vending series. Got a cool looking little Gengar. I'm pretty sure I bought this once I arrived on island because I had never seen it before and the art style was interesting. First edition Mr. Mime. Another Mewtwo. Some vending series Mewtwo. And then 2 base set Mewtwo's. And another Sabrina, which I bought because I thought that she was one of the hollowed trainers that I did not know existed, and then I got back and realized, oh, I already have this one. We got a pre-release Clefable, not first edition. I don't know why that wasn't first edition, but whatever. 3 Clefairies. I wish I could drop this Clefairy down here, but nope. Clefable comes after Clefairy. Got a random Southern Island Jigglypuff. Some more starter deck cards. There's my other Chansey. Which is funny seeing a Chansey pop out of an egg when you know that the what's the baby Happiny exists. There's a Japanese Kangaskhan. I think it's a Game Boy promo. I could be wrong, but I like that one. First edition Snorlax. We got Snorlax sleeping on the beach. We got Dratini, Erica's Dratini, English Ditto. And I believe this is the last page, and then I have like just 2 extra pages that are empty in case I want to buy some more singles from like this era. But yeah, finishing off with the Dragonair. That is my childhood binder. Thanks for watching.